any fear of contradicting ourselves or with any equivocations, that these RGCs took place, and out of the RGCs, documents were then drafted. These documents were presented to the PwC and the PAC, who further reinforced these documents through inputs that we made. And today the document will be presented to us to further consolidate as we prepare to go to the NGC. So there's a team entrusted with that delicate responsibility to ensure that we have a document that speaks to the issues. That team was led by Comrade Maruping Kwena, Comrade Sandiseni Sitole, Comrade Fezlekis, Comrade Monwabi Sinkompela, Comrade Tulani Ginase, Comrade Naleli Hausekwe, Comrade Lorato Moleleki, Comrade Lebu Moremedi, Comrade Tato, Comrade Quentin Swartz, and Comrade Sipon Delapi. Can we then invite the two people who are directly responsible to draft this document into a coherent document that we want to present to the delegates here today? Can I then take this opportunity to invite to the podium Comrade Sadisen and Comrade Fezlekis? Thank you very much. Through you, of course, Chair.
Amanda, viva ANC, viva! Viva ANC, viva! Thank you very much, Comrade Deshi Bongela. One of the other things that I like to do is to sing. But I think Comrade Gwede is banned singing. Lomzabala umtala mtani uqalwa lomzabala umtala mtani waqalwa Comrades, the document is a culmination of work that was done over the last 3 weeks. There were a number of comrades that attended to the regional councils that were convened in the various regions. Other regions subdivided themselves into sub-regional meetings and presentations were made there. And from the regional general councils that were held, there were a number of inputs that were made, and our task was then to solicit, put together and consolidate a document which we call the Provincial Perspective towards the National General Council. The document has underwent a few iterations. We first presented to the Subcommittee on Policy. After the submission to the Subcommittee on Policy, we then went to make a presentation to the Provincial Working Committee. And in the Provincial Working Committee, a number of profound and instructive inputs were made which we had to incorporate into the document. And yesterday there was a special provincial executive committee, and then and again there a number of profound interventions and proposals were also made which we had to work overnight to incorporate into the document. And therefore the document that we are having today is a document that was presented before the PEC, and there was a broad understanding that we need to come and present the document today. It is a living document, subject to change. As I was listening to the input of the provincial chairperson, clearly a number of issues came up, and some of the key issues that he had raised also needs to be integrated into the program, particularly on the question of what is it that we as the Northern Cape are going to stand up and say needs to happen. As a province that is blessed with critical endowment of minerals, the provincial chairperson makes it very clear that one of the issues that we must go and raise is the issue of beneficiation, the beneficiation of our minerals. Listening to his input at the PwC, there is already work that is being done in the Namakwa part, and there is work that is being done in the JTT region. So beneficiation is most definitely going to become a reality. Another issue that was raised, which we are also raising in the document, fund, in as far as the inputs received from the provincial conference was from the provincial executive committee meeting that was held yesterday. So the preface to our document, comrades, is that, and as was explained by Comrade Ling, is that the African National Congress, over its many years of existence, have survived many threats. There was a period in the life of the movement where it was moribund, where it faced an existential crisis, but the African National Congress was able to rise to the occasion. What is it in our history that made the African National Congress to survive? Whether the NDR, the ANC's current management of affairs deepens the NDR and consolidates the National Democratic Project. Whether the ANC confidently remains the leader of society and the motive force. If the answers to the above are negative, then that perennial Marxist-Leninist question of what is to be done then becomes our responsibility. The what is to be done, comrades, is a question of agency. It is a question of not accepting things as they are. It is a question of ensuring that we take charge of our own situation. The African National Congress is now in a review period, and revolutions are not seldom reviewed. Revolutions happen, but it is the responsibility of revolutionaries to make sure that they happen in the manner in which it has been planned. So the what is to be done question, comrades, is quite an important question. It has got to do with us, with our branches, with our structures, with our leadership collectives. So if we ask the question, what is to be done, we are actually asking a question to ourselves. So the ANC conclude based on macro trends that the NDR has suffered several strategic setbacks, though it has not been totally deferred or derailed. The input that the provincial chairperson makes in this regard is quite important. If 18,000 people have voted in the last 11 by-elections that were